point in the answer to the first part of your question. And yes, over the long term, with the economic cycle, the employment outlook of graduates, as for every other category of worker, goes up and down. The trend you'll see over time is that university graduates will be significantly better off as a group than those without university degrees, and you see those lines over time tracking in parallel.
Yes.
Senator Carr, I've got some more questions, and
Sure,
you could have called the department to the reference committee this morning if you needed. So I'll just finish my questions, and then if we've got time, we'll come back to you.
No, frankly, look, if that's your attitude, thank you very much. You know, if that's the way you want to play the game, very simple
Senator
question.
Carr, you've had the abundant amount of time
it was a very
with these
simple
witnesses.
question, and if you want to close down proceedings on that basis, go for your life. Thank you very much.
I'm not suggesting we close down proceedings, Senator Carr. If you're happy to extend the time the witnesses, if you're happy to extend the time the witnesses are here, so that we can both finish our questions.
I think we've heard enough.
Can you comment on two aspects of the submission by NATSEM, that the do not expect to repay rate is projected to go to 30%, and that the bill will particularly disadvantage women?
So, on the 30% question, our estimate, the estimate from the Australian Government Actuary is that the figure goes to 23% within the estimates and stabilises at around 25%. So the 30% may be a calculation that NATSEM has done, but we've not seen that modelling.
Okay.
On the issue about debt being disadvantageous to women, that would have to be a comment on their earlier work, which at a separate hearing I have commented on, because this bill includes both a move from the bond rate of interest to the CPI rate of interest, and the adoption of Senator Madigan's proposal for a 5-year indexation pause for the primary carers of children for the first 5 years of their lives, for those carers whose income is below the minimum income threshold. The effect of that is that the most significant factor that would disadvantage women, i.e. continued indexation of their debts while on maternity leave, effectively, or taking time out from the workforce, has been removed by this bill. This bill provides for a HECS help system that is more generous to those graduates. Thank you.
What is the department's assessment of the Greens website on student fees and repayments?
So I have talked about this before. Look, there are a number of problems if students are taking the Greens website as a guide to how long they will take to repay debts, which is the bottom line on the Greens website. There are at least two variables in the website that cause that problem. So if you take the estimate of the fee level for courses in the website, you'd be generous to call them upper end estimates. So, for example...
Generous to call them upper end?
Well, for example, a 5-year law degree in the Greens website is estimated to cost $112,000. The range of prices that have been forecast so far in range that I've seen range between 55,900 at QUT through to about 80,000.
Right.
The
significantly less than 100,000.
Significantly less, yeah. So if you look at an arts degree, it's forecast on the Greens website to cost $46,000. The range that I've seen so far would go from 20,800 through to about 31,000
Sorry, Mr. Grew,
so
just let me
that's-
clarify that. So the range, and this is always going to be a range depending on what universities decide to set their fees on. You've gone from 20,000, which is less than half
That's
of what
right.
the
I'm sorry,
Greens
and I
website is
Yes, that's right.
saying an arts degree will cost.
I should be accurate there.
Should we be referring this to the ACCC
Well, again, that's a comment.
or some consumer affairs?
So I should be clear there. Sorry, with an arts degree, there is UWA that would cost in the same order as the Green website, but everybody else I've seen charging less. The other issue with the Greens website is that it estimates, and this is very important, the starting salary of graduates and salary progression rates. And on the salaries that we've looked at, which are transparent in the way the website works, they are considerably less than the first year salaries you'll see if you look for potential careers. So a first year salary for a nurse projected to be $49,000, whereas if you look on various state government health department websites, you'll see considerably higher starting salary for nurses, the same for teaching, engineering, legal. For example, the Greens website suggests that a starting salary for a lawyer is $51,000, whereas if you look on employment websites, you would get considerably more as a starting price for a lawyer in a commercial law, in a law firm. So if the combined effect of those is to scare students, then that is a concern that we would have.
As would I. I think, given the time, I would like to thank very much the department and your officers for coming in on a Friday night of a long weekend. And thank you for your diligence in answering the questions of Senator Carr, who seems to have fled the room prior to the finish of our committee. But having now drawn attention to the lack of quorum provided by the Labor Party to finish this, I now have to shut the committee down.
Thank you very much, Chair.
Adjourned. Thank you, Hansard. Thank you, Secretariat.